Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I was supposed to get this video out on Thursday, but I ended up having to do things to get ready for work because I am going back to work next week.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to our channel.
So if you watched Tuesday's laundry video, you'll know that we had a house fire over the weekend. And the crazy thing is that last night, another house in this military base housing development also had a fire in their garage. I'm very thankful that we have base housing to live in. Everything is included in our BAH, which is the military's basic housing allowance. So electric is paid for, water is paid for, our rent is paid for, our trash pickup is paid for. It definitely has its benefits and downfalls. You can call maintenance to come fix things, but it may take a few times to get things fixed. So if there's like an electrical problem, you know, that's scary. You know, I'm definitely putting trust in a group of people that have let me down before. And that's not a very good feeling. For those of you who don't know and are watching our channel for the first time, my husband is deployed and we have 3 kids, ages 18 months, 7 years, and 9. And we have a dog and a cat. On Saturday night, Juliana and I were watching a movie in my bed. So she was in here with me and Jackson was in my bed just because Jackson doesn't sleep in his own bed, he sleeps in my bed. Around midnight, I woke up to the smoke alarms going off. And I start like waving the smoke alarm in my room, and then it hit me, like I woke up and I was like, oh my god, we need to get out of the house. So I opened my door and there's smoke. So I run to get Joshua, who's at the end of the hall. He wakes up, I come back to wake Juliana up for a second time and she doesn't wake up. So I'm like, Juliana, wake up, we have to go, my coffee's spilling on my bed. I grab Jackson, he's half asleep. Juliana finally wakes up, we start to go downstairs. I have no clue what I'm going downstairs to. So we start to go downstairs. Juliana turns around and comes back to bed. Oh, I have to come back up and get her. It was a mess. And it made me realize that we need a fire plan and we need to practice it when the kids are asleep, because if this was a bigger emergency, you know, I didn't know at the time, would I be able to get all 3 of my kids out safely by myself? Well, as we go downstairs, the whole downstairs living room is filled with smoke and the front of the house is pretty hazy. Finally get everyone outside. We are in duplexes, so I have neighbors connected to me. So I go knock on the door next door, call 911 at the same time. The cat runs and hides, and my dog, he got really like skittish and I couldn't get him out of the house. I don't know, he just kept going like in and out, in and out. So finally I got him out once the kids were out by the road, and I got him out and I put him in the car. So Juliana's crying because the cats are in the house. Joshua's crying because he left his stuffed animal, and thankfully I had the stroller in the car, so I pulled that out for Jackson to sit in, and he loves fire trucks right now, so he was pretty excited to see the fire truck. What does your fire truck say?
Wee-wee.
Say wee-oo, wee-oo, wee-oo. Yeah, they're not outside anymore. He keeps asking for the fire trucks to come back. So the fire department gets here pretty quickly. Another benefit of living on base is that the fire department is right there. They can get here in pretty quick. I want to say less than 5 minutes. I got the neighbors and I called 911, and my neighbor's husband was on duty. So it was us 2 adults and 6 kids. So my best friend lives diagonal to us. I texted her after I called 911 and her husband came out to help out. So the fire department pulls up and they just kind of jump off the car and run inside. That was kind of a wake-up call too, that I need to pick things up and have a fire path at night when we go to bed. You know, we had no issues getting out, but for the firemen walking around our house trying to figure out where exactly the fire was coming from, they go fast. They move very fast. And they're big guys with those big suits. So like the nugget was on the floor all sprawled out in the living room. It just really made me think that we need to start like really getting in the habit of picking things up off the floor totally at night. Cleaning the garage has been on my deployment list, and then it was on my quarantine list. That was pretty embarrassing. What ended up smoking was a fluorescent light that was left on. Thankfully, there was nothing actually on fire. There was no active flames that we know of. When the fire department came, there was no active flames. So what the fire department said was to call the maintenance electrician in the morning and get him to fix the house. So yeah, pretty scary. We are all okay. Our house is okay, thankfully. We could come back in. But it was definitely a big wake-up call that we need to prepare for this, and I still keep like replaying it in my head over and over. It definitely scared me. So of course the thought that we were going to lose everything, you know, and I definitely had the thought as I was waiting there before the fire department came through and checked everything that we were going to lose everything. We were going to have to live out of a hotel during a pandemic without my husband, and I feel like that just totally set off anxiety for me. Thank you to everyone who reached out to make sure we were okay. We are okay. We're just a little shooken up still. Thankfully, there was no damage. My furniture downstairs, like the fabrics, still smell a little smoky, but I don't need to file a claim or anything because I think it'll just dissipate. So one of the reasons why I wanted to do this video to explain what happened was to make sure you guys have a plan for a fire in your house. How are you going to get all of your kids out? Especially if you are by yourself and your spouse is gone for the night or whatever. Have a plan, be safe, have renter's insurance. Hi guys, thanks for watching.